Gonna get it hot. Gonna get hot in here. Turn up the AC. Hey, I'm Eric Hermanson, the first. I'm making a game. It's called The God Killer. It's a game in which you control a character that is in a battle with God, and you use logic to solve puzzles. You use your spatial reckoning to figure out where the hell things are in a 3D world that is larger than the view that's presented to you. You go in all the directions, up, down, north, south, west, east. You never rotate the camera. The camera is always looking straight down at you, at your head. You never fiddle with the camera. You never adjust the camera. It's just always straight down, looking at you. And I wanted to make it that way so that you could concentrate on other things besides turning your head around to see where everything is. At some point, you just give up on the need to adjust the camera, and you make do with the view given to you. Anyways, I shouldn't keep going on with that because this live coding session will not be focused on the game proper, but a tool which generates animations for a character within the game proper. And I'll give a quick demo of where I'm at with that. So, what do we got? The hands, they've been here for a little while. And there's two parts that are not connected to each other yet. Here's the two parts. So I have an ability to define gestures in terms of keyframes that exercise these hands, and I can have like a collection of different gestures, okay, that maybe assembled in different ways would make a convincing series of hand motions that goes along with dialogue that characters speak. That's one part. That's the visual part of this that I have done. The other part is I have, if you see along the bottom, all these lines here, that is a wave analysis. Here's another view of the same wave file that's off to the right that has identified potential places inside of the audio file where it would be appropriate for a hand gesture to be displayed. So in this session, I have a goal. That goal is I want the hands to move in some kind of audio triggered way. Now, I'm not saying I'll have it all perfect in the form I want, but by the end of this session I want to bring these two parts together, this analysis of the audio and the gestures, so that when I play this audio, this is like a sample audio from a different game.
Gamedev a pickaxe, 8 pressure plates, and a giant rubble. The plates must...
So when I play that audio, which is just example audio, some kind of automatic gesturing will occur. That I think I can do by the end of the session. I don't think it'll look refined. I don't think it'll be a completely ready to use authoring tool, but I think I will hook up those things in the next hour or 2 hours, or I'll die trying. I will get really upset if I'm not able to accomplish that. So this is a Unity project. It's got lots of C# code, and I'm going to be switching over to this window here, which has got all my code in it, and I'm going to be writing code. It's going to be a lot more quiet pretty soon. But not completely quiet. Now, if you actually like the first part of these videos better, I always organize it the same way. There's like a demo at the start, where if you're following along with my project, you kind of just get a quick glance where I'm at, what I've achieved recently, what I'm about to do. And then, like, if you're not into the coding part, just drop off right about now. Right about now. When you see this window full of code pop up, that's a good time to just kind of like, if you're into the code, stick around, you know. Comment on what I'm doing. Comment on what you're doing that's related to writing game code. And I'm up for that kind of interaction. So choose your own experience for yourself. Choose well. But meanwhile, I'm going to get to work. I'm going to get to work. So, thinking about the tasks to get this up and going. Coming back to here, I decided I want some kind of button on the screen that just says play. And when that button is clicked, it will initiate an analysis of the wave file, and it will set some kind of state. It says we're playing now, and we started at a certain time, and then on the update, it's going to check and see how far we're along, and like which keyframes are appropriate to display and trigger the correct animations that show up here. So let me start just getting the button on that screen. I don't think it's going to be that hard. I could be wrong. I've often been wrong about these things. It's going to bother me a lot if I'm wrong. Is that what I'm doing? Or was it? Let me see. What did I do for the? Yes, I think it's GUI, not GUI layout. Let me double check. Unity GUI button. I want to just make a clickable button on the screen. Yeah, it's a GUI button. And I just specify a rectangle and some text. That should do it. Okay. Pretty friggin' easy, I think. GUI button. Let me encapsulate this a tiny bit. Private. Void. Show control panel, because I do envision like some other controls in there later on. I'm only starting with the play button. And let's see. It should be dynamic, because the size of the screen can change. I want it to be aligned along the bottom. I know there's like a little kind of built-in game object that does the layout stuff, but I kind of find it not that easy to use. So let's see. X, Y, width, height. Okay. That's the one I want. So we'll say 0F, screen, height, minus CY, button, panel margin. Okay. And then the rect here is going to be, let's see, it's going to be CX button and CY button. And that later may become like an icon, but why get fancy? Why? This is just a tool that's going to be used for the game. The game lives on, the tool. It doesn't have to be wonderful, amazing. 40. That's fine. That's fine. Let me just try that to start. Waiting for it to rebuild. Everything's working for me on the first try these days. It's even got a nice translucent quality to it. So I was worrying about kind of making way for, or making some room for a control panel and then the bars would be on top of it. Don't really need to. I can just put it right here. Okay. That was the first time I added a button to my UI and it worked the first time. Pretty happy. Pretty friggin' happy. Let me just add this CX cPanel. Stupid thing. I'll close that. Okay. So now how do I check that the button has been pressed? It's a bool. It turns true when it gets clicked. Okay. So let's see. So it's really it's not just showing the control panel. It's kind of handling everything, so I'll just say on control panel or handle control panel. So if it's true, let's do play. Okay. Here. Let me just make sure I can do something. Do time 0. Or I can. This is all encapsulated. I can go play clip from 0. And I kind of like to put things in the order that they're dependent upon, so I move the more dependent function up above what's calling it. Okay. Should I just try that? Such a simple test. I should keep going. What else do I need to do? I need to I need to do something with the chunks. So the chunks are all those bars. All these things are chunks. Each one of these bars here that represents like how loud audio is at a certain point, that's a chunk. I don't think I can make this work while I'm in the editor. I think I have to play the whole deal. Let me see if this build all. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So if I go like
Give
this.
the delver a pickaxe, 8 pressure pits. Give the delver a pickaxe, 8 pressure pits. Give the delver a pickaxe, giant 8 to form 4 piles of giant. The plates must be held down to let a Fagando pass through a bomb.
I already know what I need right away. What I need right away is to be able to stop this shit from playing. Let's create another thing called stop, because that's gonna annoy the crap out of me. Okay, stop. I already wrote that code down below. It's called stop click. Okay. And what I want is, if things are playing, I want the play button to change to a stop button. So it's just a simple toggle. Okay, let that build.
Give the delver a pickaxe, 8
I don't know why it immediately starts playing.
Yeah. The delver a pick.
Alright, there's some issues there. Oh, I know why. I gotta turn off this other thing. Alright, this was actually some kind of nice code I wrote, so I'm just going to do a quick git commit to save it before I delete it. Ooh. Copying over the git ignore file, because that means when I add all the files in this directory, it won't add all the kind of stupid generated files or files that'll give me trouble. Okay, let's add all that. Okay, let's commit it. This is my initial commit. Also, right before deleting, click to play from position. Okay, so I had some code that would let me click any place on the screen and cause that section of the audio to play. I'm just going to take it out for now, because it's interfering with behavior of my new play button. Since I've got it committed in Git, I can come back and get it later if I want.
Gives the devil a pickaxe.
It still like starts playing right away, which is fucking annoying. There's no reason. I don't get that.
Gives the devil a pickaxe, 8 pressure pits, and a giant. Gives the devil a pickaxe, 8 pressure pits, and a giant.
Why would it immediately start playing at the beginning? Oh, maybe. Oh, is it? Force tomorrow, loading background. Oh. No? Okay, I guess I'll set the debugger on that. Let's see. Are you calling it right away? Because that would be stupid. That'd be stupid. There'd be no reason for you to do that. Oh.
Gives the devil a pickaxe, 8.
Okay. So it didn't call this code. Play. Let's see. So the only place where I'm playing is here. Is that true? Let me check. Yep. It's the only place.
Gives the devil a pickaxe, 8 pressure pits, and a giant.
I think I know. I think I know. So audio source. You have a very stupid play on awake. Yeah, you do. That's it. That was all it was. Okay. So let's try it one more time. It's fast enough to just test it real quick. Yep, that's it. That's it.
Gives the devil a pickaxe, 8 pressure pits.
Okay. Next. Onward. So let me do my little bit of design on this. From let's see. I think find peak chunks, return list, and of peak position indexes. Right now it returns an array that's used for display. And on validate, make new, get, let's see, create, find, let's see, get highlights from peak chunks, which will translate that. Those peak chunks to display info. Okay, so that would free me to use find peak chunks. As part of this analysis I want to do. So use gestures per second, frequency param, property, let's make it a property, and minimum gesture interval properties to filter peak chunks to a list of gesture start positions. Assign a gesture code to each gesture start position. Create a new hand animation that has key events, that has keyframes corresponding of all the combined gestures. I'm kind of glossing over the algorithm there, but I have a good idea how to go about doing that. Okay. That hand animation is set as the current hand animation. Okay. Begin playing the clip, the audio clip. Set the start time of the animation. Okay. And update. If audio source is playing, get the current position. Time position of playback. Use that to set the hands to the corresponding place within the hand animation. Now I believe it's 6:37 right now. I believe I'm gonna be done with all this by 8 o'clock. I believe it. The reason I'm so confident is because all this is like pure logic, and it's code I've already written. Like the stuff that sets all of the transforms of the hands so that they match a certain location in the animation. That's done. That is done. So this is an animation. It's a very short one, containing one gesture. But what I'll do is I'll make a much larger animation that combines multiple gestures, and they'll start at different points based on my audio analysis. Okay. If time is past duration of audio clip, Actually, I don't have to do anything because the audio source will stop on its own. So I don't even have to maintain a separate state for playing and or tracking the current time, because audio source already has that. My animations are going to be linked to what audio source is doing, so I just use that. Nice. I have a very clear plan in my head. I'm going to just start on it. And what do I call this function? Get highlights from peak chunks. Yeah. So this function here is currently sort of coupled to display. I'm basically just breaking it out into two functions so that the first function will be sort of purely logical, and the second one will have display information. Let me see. Peaks. Okay, so let's see. Actually, let's do this. Cool. Alright, just make sure I didn't break anything. I didn't regress. These should stay the same, these bars down here, after I see the spinny. Spinny means it's building. Build for me, spinny. Spin, spinny. Spin, spinny. And it's still displaying correctly. I did not regress. I progressed. Okay, so where's all that green code? This stuff I did. Okay, so let's add a couple new properties. Gestures per second, minimum gesture interval. Public int gestures per second. equals 3. That's a good default. Let's do range. Well, at least. Wait a minute. So I don't think I want more than one gesture per second. Maybe I do. Maybe I would in some cases. Okay, let's make this a float. Make this a float. And actually, as this number goes down towards 0, it'll be more like what I want. Because 1 is really fast. So let's say 10F is like a ridiculous number of gestures. And then let's go 0.1F, which is like saying every 10 seconds let's have one gesture. That's pretty... that's a pretty chill dude. That's somebody who's not doing a lot of gesturing at all. I'll start with that. Okay, the next one was range. This is the time value. I'll come back to the range. Public float. Minimum time. Yeah, gesture cooldown time. And I'm going to say you gotta wait at least a quarter of a second. At least half a second. At least half a second. That's a good default. And we'll say that defaults would be 0F to 10F. Okay. I think I might need a few more things. So I'm thinking about how I'm going to load the gestures in. Is there something? Yeah, there's. Okay, there is a way to load them with this function here. So, okay, let me just do something which may not be the final thing that I have, but gesture A, file name, gesture B, file name, gesture C. Actually, I'll just do 3 gestures to start. And I think there's a better way for me to do this mapping, but basically these properties will allow me to say which gestures that are already saved in files will be used to build out my animation. Okay. So all that's defined. I think I'll want another type that has a float value for time, and then also like a gesture code mapping. Or not even, no, I don't need a gesture code. I can just percentage. Anyways, I want like something that I can use to kind of put the intermediate steps of this together. So let's call it private class, and I already used gesture event. Let's call it some kind of gesture. What's the wording I want? Not gesture, but included gesture. Gesture insertion. That's it. So this will be it's public. This will keep track of where and what gestures will be inserted. Is that a reserved word? Nope. Okay. So then, with that, I can do. Okay, let's see. Peak, chunk, positions, find peak chunks from the chunks. What? Oh yeah. List. Gesture insertions. That'll come from peak chunk positions and those properties, which are gesture per second, gesture cooldown time. Let's see. I'm missing a little bit of information I'm going to need inside of here. So these positions are sample positions. I need to convert to actual time. So time is, since I'm using mono, it's just frequency it's gonna be like a division with the audio frequency. Okay. All right. Let me write this thing, and then I'll figure out if I need to pass more information into it. Getting a little bit worried because it's 6:54 and I thought I could do this by 8 o'clock. What am I, some kind of genius? Why would I expect to be able to do that? That's just crazy. All this code I gotta write, all this logic. I'm so confident. Now I might fail. I might fail. Okay, so I know what I need. I need duration. This will be audio clip length. Let's call this clip duration, just to be a little more explicit. Okay, so what am I looking for? I want to know how many gestures I'm going to make inside of this clip. And my gestures per second is going to tell me that along with the clip duration. Gesture count equals what is it, dividing or is it multiplying? I think it's multiplying. Okay. Those two. Alright, so I'll be rounding down. Start this guy. It's going to be a long thing to keep typing over and over again. Okay. So down bottom, turn G out. Okay. So in this case, what am I trying to do? I want to get like the peak chunk positions sorted by their amplitude. So actually I need to pass in the chunks so I can get the amplitude. Might as well just pass those in instead of the duration. I can just pass them in along with it. Float with duration. Because I could have implied the duration from the chunk count, but it's okay. I'll do less work this way. Okay, so I'd want to sort the positions by their amplitude so that I can take the top gesture count number of those. So if I'm going to have five gestures, then I'll look for the top 5 peaks as far as their amplitude or loudness is. Okay. How to perform this sort? I'm not sorting the value in the array. I'm sorting like a value that's obtainable with the value from the array. So for that, I'm just going to check real quick. C# sort array. See if there's I think there's one where you can give it like a function. Yeah. Or a predicate, I guess it would be called. Do I have to do a friggin' interface implementation? Do I have to make a whole class for comparing them? That would kind of suck. Is there just like a simple way I can just add a predicate onto the end of it? It's keyword for it. Predicate. There we go. No, that's something else. Okay. C# sort predicate. Order by. Let me try that. C# order by. Something like this. Kamikaze toy. What's going on? Oh, I'm getting excited. I'm getting excited because I'm gonna get my hands hooked up to audio. It's steady progress. It's working pretty well. I had a small setback with using the Leap Motion device to record hand animations, and I figured out it's not really like a good solution for what I was trying to do. But I'm back on track. What's been going on with you? Oh, let's see. Okay, what does it complain about? Order by, okay, so I'd have to put that in a list. That's fine, I can do that. Yeah, maybe like the object-oriented stuff, classes, inheritance, and yeah, methods. Sure, yeah. But you know, that's progress. Learn how to write some code. It all falls into place eventually if you keep going. If it interests you. Let's see. So generate gesture insertions. Alright. So this is not great practice. But this is also code that doesn't have to be that performant. Peaks. Oh yeah? That's pretty cool. What kind of game? Peaks. This. Oh, okay. Yeah. Enemies move to your movement. You mean like you do something and then the enemy moves right after? Oh. Well, that's cool. That's the kind of game I'm making. I like that style of game. No, I think that's a very cool type of game to make. I haven't. Well, actually, first I thought you wrote like a very old game, which is called Galaga. But you said Galactica. I have to admit, I've not tried Galactica. Yeah. Here's my mini demo for you. It's like this little hand movement here. I can move it any way I want. All right. Self-indulgent. Yeah, it looks better than the results I was getting with the leap. Just okay, so what's it complaining about? So order by should be a method of enumerable. List is an enumerable. Do I need to include link? Is that it? I think that's it. System link. I think that's it. All right. Okay, so that brings me back to that working there. Let's do this. like having less nesting. Okay, so then the next thing I need to do is get the top gesture count positions. Okay. So, okay, while while I haven't filled up my return array to the amount that I want, let's see. Okay, the first thing I have to check is if the previous gesture, let's call it, okay, gesture, insertion, previous, insertion, null, okay, if previous, insertion not equal null, float time between insertion equals mathf abs let's see. God, all this. Okay, sorted peaks. Let's do it this way. Let's do for each sorted for each int peak position and sorted peaks. Position. This is a little bit ugly. Okay, so I want to just make this simpler so I can write some code below that doesn't look really horrible. Time per chunk. There. Actually, looks like I already I already defined the chunk size as 20 hertz, which is one chunk every 1/20th of a second. So this is going to be yeah, that's nicer. That's definitely nicer. Okay. There's a tiny bit of a rounding issue with this method, but I don't think it will be large. Okay, so peak position. Times time per chunk, because each one of these positions is one RMS chunk, which is 1/20th of a second. I multiply it times this, I get insertion time, and now I want to know how much space is in between the last insertion I made and this one. And I'll say if that time between insertions is less than my gesture cooldown time, I'm already in an extra loop here. No, it's okay. It's okay. So I do a continue, and now I'll go on to the next. So that this logic here will omit peaks that could be used for starting a gesture at if they're too close to the previous gesture. So here, I want to add a new gesture for insertion. So we'll say new and time equals insertion time. Oh. What? What? Do I spell it differently? What? It's right there. No, this is annoying. Because the way my logic is set up, it will never be unassigned. But that's okay. That's fine. That was stupid compiler error. It's ludicrous. Okay, so the time will be the insertion time, and gesture will be null, but I don't have to assign that. It'll default to null. Okay, then I want to set previous insertion to I might as well just do this. Let's call this latest. Okay, that is a lot of new code. Very likely there's some kind of error inside of it. Okay. Let me make a few comments here. Get number of gestures to include, to insert. Sort peaks by their amplitude. Although there's a good chance I've got this in the wrong order. It could be ascending by default. It almost certainly will be. Let me just check if there's a param I can pass. It's ascending order. Is there descending? Well, there's a really easy way to just swap it around, and that is, let's say, 1F minus highest lattice first. Okay, so that's probably pretty solid. So, the only thing I should do is just load the gestures at start. See if I use the singleton pattern on this. Nope, not yet, but I can. I can definitely do that. Stop it. Load. Okay, gesture A file name. There's a better way to do this, but here, I'll at least I'll encapsulate it. Yeah, I should do this. If that was the gestures, and here. And I can do a really cheap, simple thing here, because on this session I'm not going to try to do anything devious. I'll just make all of them have the same gesture to start. Okay. That's going to be I'm going to want duration on that, and I'm going to want my insertion points. Okay. Start time of animation. I don't have to set it. Just start playing. Okay, almost done with this one. Okay, so this is going to be an object. It's going to be a member. So let's take it another way. Tracking this. I want to do this. Okay. Oh, it's not called a hand animation. Yeah, I just called it a gesture. Okay. Just for now, I'm not going to rename this to make it more general, but the same structure can hold the complete animation. It doesn't need to hold just one gesture. So I just don't want to get caught up in fixing that right now. So let's just call this gesture hands animation. But let me make a to-do note so I can come back and figure out naming, refactoring. Almost back. Jesus, man. Big T's. For gesture versus hand animation. Alright, so to do. Don't like to forget to come back to fix these things. Okay, so then it's this. Private mode. Bam. So here's how I do it. I need to sort the insertions. So I can just do that pretty easily with my old friend Order By, I believe. Sorted insertions. Let's call it GI. Calls insertions. Order by. Insertion. Insertion. Time. This one I really do want it to be ascending order. It's enumerable, I think. Enumerable. There we go. Okay. So then each of these insertion points. I will call this sorted insertions. GI and sorted insertions. Or okay, so I'm going to look at the time. Okay, it's this. Copy keyframes to insertion point until it won't fit in, until no more will fit, until no more will fit in insertion window. So then I have to calculate insertion window. It's going to be window and equals GI going to be the minimum of clip duration. Or let's start it with clip duration. But if this is the problem with IEnumerable, is getting like another element in the array besides the one you're on. I don't think I can just get the next one. Yeah. Do I have a 2 array? Okay, good. Jesus. 2 array. Okay. Okay, so just tell you, okay, good old for loop. For loop. It's underrated these days. On itch. Is it web-based? Less than sort of insertions, length. Cool. You wrote it in JavaScript? Oh, very cool. So would you do like a WebGL build? Or I think they've got like another build you can do for. Yeah. Curious what you think of like WebGL and Unity. Never tried it. I mean, it's better than they had like their own like web-based player. I think they still do. But then whoever tries to run your game, they also got to download that player thing. I would assume with WebGL you wouldn't have to do that. Okay, so I can say if I is less than length minus 1, I'll know I'm not right at the end. So it's possible there could be another insertion right after. That will be the real window of length. And okay, so that's the insertion window. So now I take 0 to j less than oh no, this is not right. Okay. Let's look at that. no, actually that was right. Never mind. That, okay. So j equals 0, j less than, insertion, gesture, events, length, ugh. I have to assign that. That's too much. Okay, j less than event count. Here I want to copy across each one of these events. So let's call this gesture event from event equals insertion gestures gesture events j. Oh man, I hope I'm not too tired to get this right. It is starting to get a little bit tricky to keep straight. So say if this new event or this from event I could potentially copy is still inside of the window, let's copy it into the master animation, the hand animation. Let's say events, add new gesture event. Question is, do I want to make a new gesture event? I don't need to. I can just reuse the old one. No, I will need to make a copy because the time value is going to be different for this one. But it's also a pain in the ass because this thing has a ton of members in it. So I need a copy constructor basically. So gesture event, new event will be a copy of the old one. I'll have to write that copy constructor. Time is going to be the same as what is already there, but offset by the insertion point. A new event time plus equal the insertion time. Then add this puppy to my events. Down here, after all that has been put inside of this event list, I say, oh my god, 7:44. Let's go into Mr. Me Seeks Overtime here. Okay, so return new gesture events equal events to array. That should do that. So now let me make the copy constructor for this. Ugh. Public. all this shit right here gets copied. And we say time equals from time. And it might be easier to just kind of templatize this a little bit. Excellent. No, I fucked it up. I already fucked it up. Bad template. Okay, it's from XXX. Man, I'm doing this too quickly, apparently. Okay. Let's try that again. Left index extended, middle extended. Okay. Thumb, index, middle, ring. Oh, dupe here. Cat. Left in, out, twist. That's all right. Kind of don't want to screw that up. And then I'll need just a few more of these. Left out, twist, right thumb, index, middle, ring, pinky. Done. 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 Okay, done with that. Okay, copy constructor, that should work. Should make a brand new instance of a gesture event with everything copied over. After that, we've done all the stuff. The thing that would be left is the update. Go down and do that. If audio source is playing, then think about this. Set the hands corresponding place within the hand animation. I could get the hands controller because I created a copy constructor, I now have to make just a default constructor. That takes nothing. Okay. So hands controller. Did I do singleton on it? It's good that I didn't. I don't really want a singleton pattern on it. That is the thing that I want to mess with, though. So I'll just have hands controller get set as a property on the wave sample GUI, and that can be my reference to it. That's a nice extendable way to set that. So if that's the case, hands controller, say if hands controller is not equal to okay. So I might have some of the code inside of gestures. That's probably what happened. Yeah. Yeah. Could refactor this off to the hand controller. I think that's a good way to do it. Let me try that. So this is the code that sets the hands to be all the transforms and everything for their rotations to correspond to the keyframes of the animation. So that I want to be in my hands controller. I think I do. So let's see the duration. I think I've got another function here. Set to gesture event. Yeah, I do. Okay, so I can say set to gesture event 0. Duration. Now, do I really need duration? Because I use it to calculate the position, which is just time, which is just this. So if I just yank this, I think it's still good. Okay. Still a little refactoring here, putting things in good places. I think I've got a function for this in here too. Set between events. Yep. That's got a good chance of working. So while I'm at it, I should go off to gestures and just greatly simplify this. So I want hands controller, set hands to gesture position. I'm going to pass gesture, and I'm going to pass the position down here. The rest of this logic I can yoink. I don't need to include this. Okay, yeah, I can yoink all this. Okay. And that also makes me wonder if I need some other functions that I put in here. Set hands to match event. Let me just do a search for that across everything. Nope, I may still need that. I'll leave that. There's another one in here. No, that might be good. Okay. God damn, I wrote a lot of code. There's no way it's going to work the first time. At least I'll check to see if I regressed my scrubbing functionality. What? Oh, I forgot to write this code. Okay, so this is going to be set hands to gesture position. I'm going to pass in the hands animation and audio source time. Delete all that. So much new code here. Rarely do I write so much all at one time and test it all at once. But I'm not going to run it immediately because there's so much new code here. I'd be kind of dumb to just hit play. I need to step through it. Let me just check that the scrubber's still working. Waiting for the build. Okay, scrubber's still working after my refactor. Am I debugging? I am. Okay. Just play it. Oh, I gotta set my breakpoint. Probably it won't play. No? How about that? Okay. Okay, here we go. I want to see if the gesture A successfully loaded. Did gesture A load? Did it? No, it did not. Okay. Oh, I didn't set the file name on it, that's why. Okay. So let me... Well, I'll come back on a second run and I'll set the file name. So find the peak chunks. Alright, so there should be between 20 and 50 peak chunks. Step up. How many do I got? 53. Okay, that's good enough. Close enough. Find insertion points. So my length is 12 something seconds. And let's go in. Whoa, jumps all the way down to here? Very strange. Okay, so clip duration, 12 something, chunks, I don't know, 2,000, something like that. Oh, 253. Yeah, okay. This would be like 50 something. Gestures per second, what was that? 3? That's too many gestures per second, but it's alright for now. 0.5. Okay. So, look through here. I want my peaks to be sorted. Let's see if it sorts them. Okay, sorted peaks. Yeah, I don't know. Well, let me see. Nope, that sorting thing just did not fucking work at all. Alright, so that failed. I got to here. Might as well correct a few other things and run it again. What was the two things I wanted to fix? Gestures per second, 0.3. Meaning let's have one every 3 seconds or so. And I wanted to set my file name so it actually loads. Let's see. Just have it do... I'll do jazz fingers. Let's do jazz fingers. Okay. Okay. So it's called Jazz Fingers. That's the file name. I come here. Gesture A file name. Jazz Fingers. Then I'm going to hit play again. I'm going to see where I screwed up. Okay, so now I expect gesture A to be loaded. Is it loaded? No, what? Alright. Start load gestures. That should have done something. That should have done something. Really? Now you're gonna try to load it? I don't get it. Gesture A file name. Jazz fingers. Okay, that looks like a good file path. It's reading all the bytes. Okay. That's a fully loaded gesture. Did you assign it? You should have. Yeah, that should all be good. Yeah, not getting it. Okay. So I got at least 2 problems here. If I hit play, are you going to go to the start? Okay, you are. Oh, apparently it had an error there. Why would it have an error there? I don't get that. It's a... gesture a file name to G, okay, gesture, oh, okay, it's the order of loading thing. Okay. So I guess that would be a problem with all this singleton stuff, is if I'm already inside of a mono behavior and I want the other one to be loaded before I start calling it. Huh. Well, that's okay. I feel like refactoring to solve that problem. Because it is true, I don't really want one mono behavior to call another mono behavior to accomplish something. So I might as well refactor like that file loading and file saving off to a separate utility. And then that problem will be solved. Oh, another good thing about doing this is code that I want to be able to go into my game, at least the loading gesture thing, so I can take it out of that other class, which is editor only. Okay, public, static, string. some other file related code I can yank out, and it's kind of a nice thing actually, because that means that code in another class is going to be a lot simpler. Okay. So this stuff here about the gesture names, though, that's a little trickier. I gotta move that back in. Sweater threads. Okay, so I still will need a save and a load off in the other class, so we'll call this let's move this back. So here I can do let's save. Okay, so all that. I already got in trouble with the singleton pattern, so I'm just going to delete that code. Okay, let me go grab my phone, because in case my life partner calls me, I want to see her text. Be right back. Alright, so I built everything. I probably broke something else, but eventually it's going to get better. Let me see if now it will friggin' load. I really should be saving this. I should save this scene. I save this now that I get like a big long spinner or something might be fucked. Did you stop? Okay, good. So gesture A is null. Oh, I think. What's going on here? Just stop. Not there. Okay, let me just save this. I have not saved it in a long time. Okay. There we go. Gesture A loaded. Okay. Now let's go to the next part. That should be fine. Okay, this is where I get into trouble. Now I know what my problem is. So I'm passing in like... Actually, I'm not sure yet. Let's see. So there should be like 50 something there. Here I should have 50 something. I do. Okay. So this next order by thing is failing, but not in a way that's obvious that it's failed. At least I can go here and then, okay, it didn't throw an error or anything like that. But this item here it's in an invalid state. And I don't know what I've done to deserve that. I don't know. It may get to the point where I write my own friggin' sorting algorithm. Like, it doesn't give me an error message, it just returns something that's invalid. It's not useful for anything. So I'm not real happy about that behavior. Like, I feel like somebody owes me an apology, even though I screwed up. Even though I screwed up in some way, I feel like somebody owes me an apology. It's not the kind of thing I feel like Googling for because it's such a commonly used thing. I won't have the specificity in the Google query to get to the exact problem that I'm having. I'll have to read like 50 other problems that somebody's having that's similar. This should not be a hard thing though. Just sorting a list. Let me take a look at how they do it. They did pets order by, and then use basically the same syntax I did. Assigned to IEnumerable. This IEnumerable int matches the type here. I don't know. It's kind of annoying. there's an order by descending. Okay, so here's one thing I can do. Because my contract for this session was not to have like a great algorithm or anything, I could do this unsorted, come back to this. So let's just say sorted peaks equals friggin' peaks. Oh, come on. There. That. So if I do that, play here, exit. Then I want to see where I'm at after that. I can come back to this. That's not a big deal. Okay, got my peaks. They're pretend sorted, but they're there. So I go through here. There is no latest insertion yet. Time equals insertion time 0. Let's see what this looks like. Yeah, that's all good. Okay. Yeah.
Give the delver a pickaxe, 8 pressure pits, and a giant to form 4 piles of rubble. The plates must be held down to let a Fagando pass through a bomb maze.
Okay. I'll just go. Okay, and stop. It occurs to me my algorithm does need that sort, or I have to figure out something else. So let me just write fucking stupid sort. List. Yeah. Stupid sort. It won't be performant, but it will work. Peak positions. Then I need the chunks, float chunks. Okay. Stupid sort, peaks. The capacity of this will be the same, as the size of the peak positions, because at the end they'll all be in there. Nope. Okay. So if let's do for int j equals plus 1, j less than sorted length, j. Bubble sort. Okay. What? Okay. This is static. So, basic bubble sort. Go through all the elements at each location. I check if the current element and the next are out of order. If they are, I swap their positions. I remember that I swapped something because when I get to the end, if I swapped anything at all, oh, I got hiccups. If I swapped anything at all, then I have to go do another pass from the beginning. But if I got through the whole thing without swapping, then I know it's sorted and I return sorted. So that's a bubble sort. And I can also do this. And I can do this. So now let's see if that does something good. Okay, let me see my sorted peaks. Should be 53. Okay, cool. What do they look like? That's not good. It's not good. Everyone has the exact same value. Okay, I'll now need to go back and
give the Delver a pickaxe, 8 pressure pits, and a giant to form 4 piles of rubble.
Okay. Let's check out this bubble sort. Okay, so to start out, it's got a whole bunch of different values. Oh shit, they're already in order. They're already in order. All that hassle. It was moot. Let's see, let me think. Why are they in order? Why are they in order? Because they were generated with a process that went left to right over all the samples. Oh, how did I... Oh, man. Alright.
Give the Delver a pickaxe, 8 pressure pits, and...
Okay, so I get to delete this. Nope, don't do that, because there's another sorting thing that I have to do in here, and maybe I'll need that for that to do. Keep. Okay, but this... Oh, no, I do have to sort them. I forgot. I'm not sorting by their position, I'm sorting by the amplitude. Okay. Must be getting tired, forgetting things that are important. Okay, so that's right. That's why I'm looking at chunks at the specific positions so that I can see. Yeah, okay. And this is wrong here. This is probably the problem. Okay. I will not walk through it. I'm going to assume it works or at least it's quicker to check that the results are working, and then go into step through it after that if needed. Okay, play. Let me see. Are you sorted in some kind of way? Probably you are. Probably you are. Okay. So then what's the insertion time? It'll be 0. Okay. Add that. Okay, so this next one is closer to the end. So the first insertion was where? Time 0. That's suspicious to me because I didn't think that there would be a large peak right at the very beginning. I'm gonna go look at the chunks. I'm gonna check that. Oh, there is something here. It looks like some kind of fucked up value. Minus 0.06, so that would be 1, 2, no, yeah, I don't know. That first value is kind of messed up. Alright, that's fine. So the next value it says is loud is... Oh. I've got this going in the wrong order. It's going with quietest first. So if I look at the sorted peaks, here this one, number 52, is at chunk 194. So if I look at my chunks, I go to 194. I've got one of the louder samples here. 194, 35. Yeah, that does it. Okay, it's got it, the order reversed. That's quite easy to fix.
Give the delver a pickaxe, 8 pressure pits, and a giant to form 4.
Alright. Just like that. Good chance that ran before it compiled, so let me see if I've still got the same result. Nope, it's sorted in the correct order now. Okay, so as I go down, insertion time here, time's going to be 0 still? .194 times time per chunk. Oh, is this yeah. Insertion, because the insertion time needs to be calculated up here. Okay, I understand that. I'm going to keep going because I know I can move this over here real easy. And there might be other bugs in here to look at. So let's keep stepping. So here we're at 6.9. Yep. Yep. So it's going to insert that one. I did forget to add a check for the gesture count. So, yes.
Give the dove a pickaxe.
Okay, I see 2 bugs. I'm going to fix both of them. If GI count equals gesture count, break. Got enough gestures. Okay, and up here, fix this bug. And I don't need to calculate it down here anymore. Alright. So let's try that again. Good. Should be 1. Okay. Alright, I feel like this is just gonna be fine. So I'm gonna go up a level and see what it returned. 38 gestures. So that does seem off. So I said 0.3 per second, and there's 12 seconds in this. So I would have expected for it to put in 4 gestures instead of 38. It looks like a multiplication instead of a division or something like that. So let me just go back up and think about that. Gesture count, clip duration, which is number in seconds, times gestures per second, and that is like 0.3 something. But it might still have the old value in the editor. That could be it. Alright. That's what it is. Okay. So because I made a change in the inspector, it saved that old value, and it's not using the default in my code that I assigned at the top. So that's fine. So I've got way too many gestures, but it's actually correct. So this one is pretty simple. This one just sets all of these to have the same gesture. Okay, that one's an easy one. Here's the one more complicated. Okay, good chance of this failing. So I wanted to sort the insertions by their time, and it didn't work the other time I tried doing this. So let's see what happens. Let's double check 38 of those. Oh, this time it worked. Except there's only 19. Oh no, I can. Oh, this time it worked, I think. Let's check the time. 0.25, 0.7. So yeah, it's in order. Okay, I have no idea what I did different on this that made it work. Okay, so there's 38 in there. So what should the insertion window be? It should be, in this case, whatever the time is for the next insertion. So I think it was like a 0.25 or something like that. Oh, 0.7. Okay, so this one, first one is 0.25, next one's 0.7. Expect the window end to get set to 0.7. Okay. So then okay, this is not right because it's going to need an offset applied to it. Let's call this float new time equals from event time plus insertion time and new event time equals new time, and this would be new time.
Give the delver a pickaxe, 8 pressure pits, and a giant
good. So I'll set my breakpoint way down here now. And try this again. Huh. Oh, okay, right. Okay, so new time 0.25. Is the new time greater than the window end? Not yet. So then we say for each of these events inside of the gesture I'm copying over, we're going to make a copy of that event. We're going to set the time in it to the new time. Right now it's going to be exactly the same. Woo. Did my copy constructor work? I don't know why. Oh, no, it's correct. Because the time should be 0 in the from event because that's its offset relative to the gesture. Okay. Cool. That's all good. Keep going. From event. Okay, so this next one, what time is it at? 0.1. This is past the window, so this one should not be copied over. What? New time equals from event time 0.1. Oh, okay. I was thinking 1 instead of 0.1. Okay, that's fine. I did notice that this should break out as soon as I'm past. So actually I'll do it like this. Break. And stop from having a lot of nesting. So hit play.
Give the delver a pickaxe, 8 pressure.
Nice thing is my build time is much faster now, so it's not so horrible to just iterate with quick code changes. So this is 0.25. Yep. This one should still be inside the window. Still inside. Still. So this one I think fits all the way in. Yeah, okay, so that entire gesture was copied that time. So how many of these do I have? 38. Okay, that will take a long time, but I'm going to check a few more. Window end, 0.85. And the insertion time, 0.7. Okay, much smaller window on this one. So I think it will not copy all the frames, which is cool. .7. Wait, where's my insertion time? 0.7 and the time there is 0. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Okay, the window. What's the window? 0.85. Okay, cool. So the next one should be excluded. New time, 0.9. Okay, this one's outside the window. Break, yes, good. Okay, just kind of testing the different execution paths. So that should generate my hand animation. Let's see what it looks like for events. Nice, that's a good number, 111 events. So it said that it was going to have 38 gestures, and each one of those gestures had 4 keyframes for it. So a portion of them were truncated because they were kind of close to each other, so the gesture had to stop partway through. Let me see what happens.
Give the delver a pickaxe, 8 pressure plates, and a giant to form 4 piles of rubble. The plates must be held down to let a
So it's not in the update. It's not calling this guy here.
Give the delver a pickaxe, 8.
Maybe I didn't set the hands controller. Is that what happened? That's probably what happened. Hands controller. That's what happened. I didn't set the hands controller. Okay, so start. Okay. I remember. Okay, so let's hit play. And then inside of here, I've got none on my hands controller, which doesn't help me at all. But all I gotta do is drag it over. Done with that. This set to 0.3. That'll be a much more reasonable value for that. Play. Okay.
Give the delver a pickaxe, 8 pressure plates, and a giant to form 4.
What more do you want here? Okay. Got 9 events. Okay. So what time does it think it's at? 0. Good. Now you might hear some music outside. That is a live performance of the Rolling Stones. No shit. They sound awesome. Right next to a stadium where they're playing. Okay, so prevalent. It's null. That's fine. So here I would say set the hand to the very first event. I should have I even set this yet though? Okay, there's something there. Okay.
Give the devil a pickaxe, 8 pleasure pits.
Okay, what's going on now?
Give the devil a pickaxe, 8 pleasure pits, and a giant to form 4 piles of rubble. The plates must be held down to let a Fagando pass through upon me.
So at this point, my position should be kind of far in. What is it doing? Okay, I've got a previous event now. What's our event count? 9? That's good. I'm definitely in Meeseek's time now. I'm so close to this. Okay, so Prev event is set. Time at 10.1. That might have been the last event. Let's see. So is it 9? Yeah. Okay, so it's going to skip past this. Next event will be null. And it should set. Yeah, it's got plenty of stuff here to be setting with. It might be a static thing. Just make sure that it's not erroring down here and short-circuiting the execution. I see it's all executing. So it should be working. The next thing I'm going to check if this doesn't work, and I don't think it will, is if the game object has anything set to static. That is one that gets me all the time. Okay. Doesn't look like it. Doesn't look like it. Does not look like it. What if I take the scrubber while it's in play mode? See, it's working there. It's giving me twinkles. Dang. I'm at a loss. At a loss. I see the logic executing correctly, however the hand is not friggin' updating. So what's going on? Possibly I set the keyframes to all the same thing, maybe? Let me double check that code that was copying over keyframes. New gesture event, from event. It's going to be coming from here. Events J. J is getting incremented to event count. Oh wait, no, this looks. I don't know. Let me think about this. So from event is coming from J. J is 0 to event count. This is saying for the current insertion point, the gesture that's there of the events, this length of those events. No, that looks right to me. I'm gonna check it one more time just to see if like every single event is saying it to the same thing, because that would screw it up. So what does this look like? Got 9 events. Let's take a look at something I know is moving in this animation is the index finger. So the index finger, left hand 0.25 here, index 0.53. See, it's moving, or at least the events that are there are going to different values. 0.53, 0.25, 0.25. I know another thing that could be happening. Could be that another object is overriding the value. So there are 2 objects that could potentially change the hand controller. So in the editor, I've got some code too. So what I could do is, inside of gestures, just as a troubleshooting measure, or to rule it out, I'm going to just comment out this code.
Give the dove a pickaxe, 8 pleasure pit.
Okay. Oh, 908. No. No, Mr. Maceeks. It's playing.
Give the dove a pickaxe, 8 pleasure pits.
That wasn't it. That was not it. That was not the deal. Okay. So enhance controller. I know all this code is being called. The output of it is, or the thing that's affecting the scene should be this set to gesture event and set between events. So let me check that these are being called. Okay, so let's go with bug log GE. I'll just do that left index extended because I know that that would be a value that should change. Let me be more direct. Not a Rolling Stones fan, but they sound good. I'm jealous of the people that are at that concert. Okay, and this, what could be going wrong here? Because I know this gets called. This does get called. Alright, well, let's just try that to start with.
Give the delver a pickaxe, 8 pressure plates,
Oh,
and
yeah.
a giant to form 4 piles of rubble. The plates must be held down to let a Fagando pass through upon me.
It does work. It fucking works. It's just that the gestures were positioned a little bit far apart. I wasn't patient enough. Okay. 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 Let me make them. Let me make them more frequent. I'll do one every friggin' second.
Give the delver a pickaxe, 8 pressure plates, and a giant to form 4 piles of rubble. The plates must be held down to let a Fagando pass through upon me.
Okay, there's my friggin' victory point. Alright, so it doesn't look like anything now. And that's because I gotta do like some more sort of animator type work. I mean like proper animator, not like a programmer. But I need to set up some gestures that actually map well to bits of speech. I think that's the next thing to do. But I'm not doing that tonight. I already clocked in 3 hours and 4 minutes on this thing, and totally ate into my chill time before I go to bed. It sure did, but it's all right. Mr. Meeseeks has to complete his task before he can die, and pretty happy. That was a lot of code that was written. It works. It does what it was supposed to. Pretty happy about that. It's good to end on Solid achievement. And I'm going to stop the stream. Thank you, Kamikaze Toy, for joining for a little bit. Good luck with your Galactica stepping game. I'm going to say stepping game because it seems to apply. It's a term that's not well known. My game is also a stepping game. Anyways, stopping the stream. Bye now.